I try to get behind the counter and make coffees at least once a week. And I have learned that that is an essential pattern to my week because it brings me back to my why. Your why cannot be in money or in business or in any of it. But for me, my why is the ministry. And so getting to actually get behind the counter and do ministry is essential. Sure. Sure. Regular. I grew up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and like I said, moved to Nashville in 2020. And my parents basically were like, "We don't care where you go to college, you just have to go to college." Getting to know people on a personal level, I had this one customer, this one regular, and she came up to me at one point and was like, "Hey, I don't believe in God, but I know that you do, and so I need you to pray for me." And I was like, "Okay, I'm happy to. I'm honored that you would trust me with that, you know?" So I think relationships, everything stems from relationships, and coffee is just such a fun and easy way to create relationships. And so at the end of the day, I really think that coffee is just the vessel in which it's a catalyst, you know? And from there, it then opens so many conversations. I mean, even in her asking me to pray for her, that's like such a further conversation that actually can turn into a gospel conversation. It's not so much like why Jesus and coffee. I think it's more like I said, being any entrepreneur can relate to this of like, it's so much sacrifice, it's so much blood, sweat, and tears that it can't be for my own glory. Like, it has to be something bigger than myself, and I can't think of anything worth all the glory than Jesus, you know? And so it's like he is the only one worthy of all of this and of all of the sacrifice and time and hard work. And so we know that everything we do can and is for the glory of God. And so if I'm going to work hard and pour my heart and soul into something, then in my opinion, it has to be something that glorifies him. Did you give them some? Yeah. So I hesitate to even like make any claims for the future just because I do believe that the Lord is the CEO of this business, and we do continue to surrender it to him on a daily basis. And so I think that like Ephesians 3:20 is been my life verse recently of like, he will give abundantly more than you can ever ask, think, or imagine. Yeah, we call it a coffee ministry, and there's a couple different facets. We started in COVID, and so our first brick and mortar coffee shop opened in 2023, and the world was still really kind of adjusting to what a post-COVID world looked like. And so something I would always tell the girls is like, hey, so many people are still remote. The person coming and ordering their coffee, this literally may be the only in-person interaction. And I think that is like the simplistic things of ministry, of if Jesus was here serving you, like that eye contact goes such a long way. And we learned that in COVID. A season that has been hard is I started this business at 18. I'm 24 now. And so my brain is not even fully developed, and a lot of my formative years have been spent building a business. And so the consequence of that, that's a beautiful thing, but the consequence of that is that I, for so long, my identity has been Prickly Pear Coffee. So I think, honestly, the hardest season I've walked through has been this past year. There's been things that have gone on within the business, but I think my relationship with the business personally has just been this push and pull of like, how do I steward this business with it not being all consuming? And ultimately, if one person comes to walk deeper with Jesus out of the day, then it's worth it. And all of the cups of coffee we made for the year, if that's what it pours into, like, it is so worth it. And I say that from a point of not just like, we want to put together these events so that people come to know Christ and we can look great. And like, that's not my heart at all. My heart is truly that I have been saved and changed. And I have been in seasons of anxiety, of depression, of falling for all the things that the world had to say. And I can sit here today and say that there is life and joy and abundance on the other side of it.